Analysis is paralysis.
Take effing action, put it together, and subscribe to Tom Penn's channel on YouTube now. Yeah, I like it. It's crazy.
About 2 years ago, I met this entrepreneur in Vietnam, and he was working on a software product. I won't tell you the name of the product, but he worked on this product for about 8 years, and he has never released this product to the consumer, to the public. So naturally, I asked him why you didn't release this product to the public. And his answer was that he didn't think the product was perfect. Let me give you another example. Have you ever been in a company or a team, maybe a marketing team? Your team is constantly planning, always planning. They're always spreadsheet, right? A lot of spreadsheeting out the plan, right? A lot of Gantt charts, trying to figure out how to execute the plan. But the team never actually goes into execution. So the team is just planning every week, every month. The team is constantly in planning mode, always planning, never get anything executed. Have you ever been in a team like that? Or let's use a more personal example. Do you know anybody in your personal life that cannot decide who to marry or when to marry or should marry or not? So maybe they've dated this boy or girl for 5, 7, 9 years, but they just couldn't decide whether they want to marry that person or not because they're constantly worried about things that will happen in the future. Do you know anybody like that? So these are examples of analysis paralysis. The software entrepreneur cannot get the product launched because he was overthinking. The marketing team cannot get any marketing campaign launched because they're overthinking. Maybe the girl cannot get married because, again, she's overthinking. These are examples of where overthinking causes you to not being able to take fucking action. And you get stuck with whatever you plan to do. So why people get into this overthinking mode? Why? Because they're scared of failure, right? They're scared when they take fucking action, when they execute the plan, that they are going to meet failure. So that fear prevents them from taking the necessary action. They continuously think about the plan. They continuously think about whether the product is perfect or not. Because when they think about those things, they don't have to take fucking action. They stay in the safety of having to do market research, having to do competitive analysis, having to create a plan, having to research more on YouTube, having to watch more podcasts, having to read more books, right? They stay in the safety of doing those things so they don't have to take fucking action. Because when you take fucking action, there's always a possibility you will fail. And people are scared to fail. So they don't take fucking action. They stay in the safety of doing research, overthinking, and that's why you're paralyzed. And seriously, if you have to do market research for 5 weeks, you're fucked. Because if you don't know where your product is placed in the market, no amount of time, no amount of research will help you. If you don't know how your product compares with a competitor, you're fucked. No amount of research is going to help you understand how your product compares with your competition, right? So if you don't know, you're fucked. You don't really need to spend 3 weeks, 5 weeks, 7 weeks doing market research, doing a competitive analysis, writing a business plan. That's another one. People spend a lot of time writing business plans. And I can tell you, I've never, ever written a single business plan. Even if I go to the bank and ask them for money, I don't give them a business plan. You know why? Because banks do require a business plan. But before they even read the business plan, they already decided whether to give you the money or not. based on your history, based on your background, and based on your idea and your execution ability, right? And if they really want to loan you the money, they will even write the business plan for you. Something you probably don't even know. They will tell you the numbers to put in the business plan. I never write a fucking single business plan ever. Because do you know of any business plan that failed on paper? Of course not. The only way you know if a plan works or not is by actually doing. You do not know if a plan works or not by actually executing, by actually releasing the software to the public, by actually launching that marketing campaign. Until then, you do not know what works. So don't overthink. Overthinking will not help you reach success, only by taking fucking action and stop with all that planning, right? You should spend no more than 10% of your time planning. 90% of your time should be used to execute that plan. And the sooner you execute, the sooner you know whether that plan works or not. And the sooner you know, then you can make changes. You can do incremental improvement on that plan to achieve the results that you want. And usually, when you execute a plan, you will realize that there are many things you did not plan for. I do not know of any plan when executed that they did not make changes. There's always something that people cannot anticipate. They find out something new. They find out a different way of doing things. They did not expect that there were obstacles. Plans always change. So do not spend all that time doing planning. Do not spend all that time doing market research. Do not spend all that time doing competitive analysis, right? Because you only know if you execute, and then you will find out for real. Let me tell you another story, all right? There's another software company that I know. They did a lot of market research before they built the product. They had focus groups. They had a lot of people. They interviewed a lot of people, asked them if they need this, they want that, will they pay for it? And they got all the answers back from their market research, from their focus group. And then they decided, okay, sounds good. Let's go build this product. And then they built the product and nobody paid for it. You know why? Because when you do market research, the conditions of that market research cannot 100% simulate real market. The result of that research was that yes, people will pay money for this. But when they actually released the product to market, nobody paid for it. Because when you ask people in the market research, will you pay for it? People always say yes, right? But when you are in a real scenario, when you actually ask people for money in the marketplace, that you get a different response. Right? Market research is never perfect. Competitive analysis is never perfect. You can analyze your product till you're blue in the face, but maybe it's not even necessary because maybe the consumer doesn't even know about the competition. Right? So why are you so worried about the competition? Spend most of your time executing your plan, getting the results, and make small incremental improvements. And then you try again and again and again until you reach success. That is the right way of doing things. Not by spending a lot of time upfront doing research, which could be wrong, and then you just wasted all that time for nothing. Execute, get result, improve. Execute, get result, improve. That's the key to getting success. Don't be a fucktard and don't be paralyzed by analysis. Take fucking action.